The next step on the path to Textile Service 4.0, or how to achieve challenging objectives. Hi, my name is Christian Wurzelball. I am a long-term laundry executive and entrepreneur, and I help now laundries to achieve the transition to Textile Service 4.0. When it comes to setting goals, I like this chart where you have the current situation in the bottom left corner and the desired situation, the future in the up right. And this means that you're always down there in the bottom left corner, so you have always room to improve, and you have always the future in front of you. And I like the concept of the true north or North Star, where you define not just the objective, but it's a kind of mission statement. It's a kind of the parameters of the objectives that you optimize to. So you optimize for the North Star. So the North Star is something that you will never achieve. So it's for instance 100% fulfillment rate, or no waste, or no employee turnover, and so on. So it's something that you cannot achieve even in the long term, but these are the parameters. These are the factors that are the KPIs that are most important for your business. For instance, in a different industry like Amazon has the North Star that they want to ship to all their customers all over the world a whole variety of products the next day, and to the cheapest price possible. So they optimize for this now for more than 20 years, and now they are the most valuable company in the world. And it's the same with Textile Service. You make objectives for the delivery, for the productivity, for HR, for everything. So you have very, very specific parameters that you optimize for, and this is the North Star. Back then, when I heard it the first time, the instructor said that you should take a bottle of wine and drink the whole bottle, and once you're in a very good mood, then you define the North Star, because then you are so courageous to formulate it in a very challenging way. Yeah. So from the North Star, you then define the 5 years goals. I like 5 years because it's near enough so that when there are challenging goals, that you have to start to act right now. But they're also far enough that you can define challenging goals. So if you just set a goal for the next year, then you always think, whether you will be able to achieve it. But in 5 years, you can set some challenging objectives. And the important thing now with this goal setting is that you really visualize the goals. So you have to formulate it in a way that you can visualize in your mind the goals, and that you can also communicate it to your employees, to your partners, in a very visual way. Maybe even make up a drawing or pictures. So it shall be like when you plan to build a house. Then even before the construction starts, you have a very, very clear picture of the finished, completed house in your mind, and you know how it will be when you enter the house, when you go into the kitchen, when you go upstairs into the bedroom, when you go from the bedroom to the bathroom, and everything. You can even smell the soap when you are bathing. Yeah. So this is something when you're excited about building a house, then you really are in your mind. You have it already. And it shall be the same with your 5 years goals. You shall have them, you shall even smell them. Yeah. So this is very, very important, and they shall also accommodate for the most important things like what service you provide for the customers, the market share and the market success, like the innovation projects that you are doing, like the productivity, HR, and then of course the figures like EBIT and profit margin and stuff. So from these 5 years goals, you derive, for instance, 3 years goals, and from these you formulate very, very specific annual goals, and these annual goals shall be formulated in a way that there is no discussion whether you've reached them or not, and this helps you then to focus and to make concrete steps during the year. And from this, of course, you derive half-year goals or monthly goals, weekly goals, even daily goals. But I also like on the short term to have a different view as well. So on the one hand, you come from the long term and derive your goals from the long term. That's very important. But on the short term, you want to focus on your constraints to reach these goals first. So there is always a constraint, because otherwise you would have reached a goal already. So something hinders you to reach a goal. Yeah, and no matter how good you are in your company, you always have constraints. That's the nature of business. That's the nature of everything. So there are constraints, because otherwise you wouldn't need to set goals. Yeah. So and I like the picture of a barrel in this case. So you have a barrel where there are leaks and it's leaking water. So you want to put in more water into the barrel and to increase the water level. But water is running out of the leaks, so you need to fix the holes in the barrel, and everybody would start with the hole that is the lowest one, because then you can increase the level of water in the barrel. And this is very basic, but in reality we do not often do it. So we have to analyze and make up our minds what is the one or what are the two most important issues that if you fix them, the whole organization, the whole enterprise becomes better and is nearer to attaining the long-term objectives. So and this is just 1, 2, or maybe 3 different issues. It's not more than 3, and it should actually be just 1 or 2. And if it's just 1 or 2 issues, then most probably you can have a very big impact if you focus on this 1 or 2 issues within, say, 4 weeks, 3 months, maybe half a year. But if you focus really on this one issue, you can make a difference in a very, very short term. And so you analyze what's really up next, and there are some methods to do it. And when you fix this leakage, this constraint, then of course the next constraint comes up, and this is the way to increase the water level. But this is also the way to focus and to have very fast and very good results. And the objective is to reach the objectives. So and there we from Leanlaundry can help you. First in the analysis of the current situation. So where are you coming from? What is really the issue right now? Then the definition of the desired situation. What is the North Star? What is your 5 years goals? What your annual goal? And the next big step. And once you have defined the next big step, then we make a project assignment, and there are online tools for project management. And when it comes to UHF RFID implementation of lean management, online marketing, we have also tools to help you, checklists to help you to get things done. So that's basically what we do, and then there are project controllings. So there are Skype calls where we measure the progress of the project, and then after the project is concluded, there is time to have feedback, lessons learned, and of course to celebrate. And this is very important that we also celebrate success. So that's the objective, and then we are one step further and have improved the company one step towards the long-term objectives. So this is basically the layout of the project. If you're interested, down the video there is a link to the homepage where you can schedule a strategy session. It's free of charge with myself, and we can then talk on the phone on whether on what is your current situation, what is your desired situation, and whether we can help you with the project. Please leave a comment. I appreciate it very much, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I do not ask you for notifications, because I think that notifications should be switched off anyway. So of course you can set up notifications, but you shouldn't do it. It just disturbs you. See you. Bye-bye.